What if the biggest retirement mistake in Singapore has nothing to do with money at all? Stay with me on that one. Because most people spend their last working year thinking about numbers, CPF balances, investment portfolios, how much is sitting in that bank account. And sure, those things matter, but there's a quieter mistake happening underneath all of it, one that most Singaporeans don't notice until it's too late to fix. Picture this. You're 59, maybe 60. You've been working since you were 22. Decades of MRT rides during rush hour. Decades of lunch breaks at the hawker center, always ordering the same thing because you know exactly how much it costs. You've raised a family, maybe paid off an HDB flat, maybe helped your kids through university. And now retirement is standing right in front of you, close enough to touch. So what do you do with that final year? Most people do nothing different at all. They keep working the same way, saving the same way, thinking the same way, right up until their last day. And then retirement hits them like a wall they didn't see coming. Here's the thing though, your last year before retirement isn't just another year. It's the most important year of your entire financial life. And there are 4 mistakes, costly ones, that quietly wreck this final stretch for far too many Singaporeans. Let's start with the first one. Mistake number 1, treating your CPF like a mystery box you'll open later. A lot of people know roughly how much is in their CPF accounts, but roughly isn't good enough, not in your last working year, because CPF isn't just one pot of money. It's ordinary account, special account, MetaSave, and eventually your retirement account, all working together in ways that genuinely confuse people. Think of it like a control panel with 4 different switches, and most people have only ever touched one of them. The mistake happens when someone reaches 65 without ever sitting down and actually mapping out how their CPF payouts will work, what their monthly CPF LIFE payout will realistically look like, whether they've hit the full retirement sum or fallen short of it. By the time they find out, options have already narrowed. There's no more room to top up, no more room to plan. Your last year is the time to open that control panel, not after retirement, before. Now here's mistake number 2, and this one surprises people. Downsizing too early or too late. Singaporeans love talking about downsizing their HGB flat as a retirement strategy. Sell the bigger flat, buy something smaller, unlock the extra cash. Sounds simple, right? But timing is everything here. Sell too early and you might be giving up years of potential property appreciation, or worse, uprooting your life before you're actually ready for the emotional shift of retirement. Sell too late, or you might miss favorable market conditions or find yourself scrambling to downsize while also adjusting to life without a paycheck. 2 massive changes happening at once. The smarter approach? Model it out during your last working year while you still have income as a safety net. Look at the numbers with a clear head, not a rushed one, because a decision this big shouldn't be made in a panic 3 months after your last salary lands in your account. Now, here's where most people completely misunderstand something important about this next mistake. Mistake number 3, assuming your expenses will simply shrink on their own. This is one of the most common assumptions in Singapore, and it's dangerously optimistic. People assume that once they stop working, their spending will naturally go down. No more transport costs to the office, no more expensive lunches near the CBD. Surely retirement is cheaper, right? But here's what actually happens. Free time often gets filled with new spending. More copy sessions with old colleagues, more trips back to visit family overseas. More medical checkups, because let's be honest, health becomes a bigger focus after 60. And healthcare costs in Singapore don't shrink with age, they climb. Without a clear picture of what your actual monthly spending will look like in retirement, people often underestimate their needs by a significant margin. Your last working year is the exact time to build a real retirement budget, not a guess. An actual month-by-month plan, tested against your CPF payouts, your savings, and any investment income. And that brings us to the 4th mistake. This might be the most costly one of all. Mistake number 4,
stopping investment growth completely, right when it still matters most. There's a common belief in Singapore that once retirement gets close, all your money should move into the safest, most conservative options possible. Completely understandable instinct. Nobody wants to take big risks right before they stop earning a salary. But here's the twist. Retirement in Singapore can easily last 20, 25, even 30 years. That's not a short sprint, that's a marathon. And if your entire portfolio suddenly goes ultra conservative the moment you retire, inflation quietly eats away at your purchasing power over those decades, even while your account balance looks stable on paper. The smarter approach isn't all or nothing. It's about gradually adjusting your investment mix in the years leading up to retirement, not making one dramatic shift on your last day of work. A portion still growing, a portion protected. Balance, not panic. So let's bring this all together. Your CPF isn't something to figure out later. It's a control panel you need to understand now. Downsizing isn't a rushed decision. It's a calculated one made while you still have income behind you. Your expenses won't magically shrink, they'll shift, and you need a real budget to see where. And your investments shouldn't stop growing overnight. They need a gradual, thoughtful transition. 4 mistakes, all avoidable, all happening quietly in that final stretch most people don't take seriously enough. Here's the honest truth. Retirement in Singapore isn't about reaching a magic number in your bank account. It's about walking into this next chapter with clarity instead of guesswork, with a plan instead of hope. Because the version of you standing at 60, ready to close that final chapter of your working life, that version deserves better than assumptions. They deserve a plan built with the same care you put into decades of hard work. Your last year before retirement isn't the finish line, okay? It's actually the starting point of everything that comes next. And the way you spend these final 12 months will quietly shape the next 20, 30 years of your life. So the real question isn't how much money you'll have when you retire. It's whether you'll walk into retirement knowing exactly what you're walking into, or whether you'll be figuring it out as you go. The choice right now is still yours.